So, welcome back. This is episode 3 of Was It Worth Watching? For those of you who are joining for the first time, I hope you enjoy what you see and hear and give us a like and a subscribe. For this week, I'm going to take a look at the films The Strangers, Chapter 2, and One Battle After Another. So, with that being said, let's get started. So, our first film is The Strangers, Chapter 2. So, this is the second of 3 parts to the rebooted The Strangers film series. This one takes place right after the first film, where the woman who survived is now in the hospital, and when the strangers, or the people who are behind being the killers, find out that she's still alive, they continue to hunt her down to kill her. So the film basically revolves around her escaping one situation after another, trying to avoid being killed, and in the process also fighting back. As I mentioned, this is part of a trilogy, a 3-part series. So, of course, this one doesn't end with a conclusion, and I don't think that's a spoiler, but if it is, I'll list it here as a spoiler. But the film does end where we will have to continue to watch in Chapter 3 to find out what happens. So, what did I think about The Strangers Chapter 2? Well, I wasn't too crazy about The Strangers Chapter 1. I thought it wasn't necessary. It didn't add anything to the original film with Liv Tyler. To me, it was just, a play on the name, The Strangers, and I didn't feel anything was necessary with this film. Chapter 2, same as Chapter 1. They're extending the story to kind of make it seem like that these killers have a purpose, which kind of contradicts what they say in the original and in the first movie, is that, why did they do this? It was just for the simple fact that you were home, you were there. But this one now, it's like, oh, they have a purpose. They have to get this woman because she survived. It also tries to give us a background into one of the strangers. It flashes back to their childhood and kind of tries to explain why that person is the way they are. So I don't want to give too much away on that, but again, if you're trying to humanize killers or give them some type of origin story, I think it was weak and didn't make the story any better. The kills in the film are pretty much the same as any other slasher film. The heroine, she does a great job. She definitely does well portraying a victim and someone trying to survive. But again, was it necessary? I don't think so. So what do I think about Strangers Chapter 2? Overall, it was not worth the watch. You could wait for this to come on streaming if you're just the type of person that likes to watch horror movies and have a couple hours to kill. But to run out to the theaters to see this, I wouldn't bother. The film didn't get very good reviews from critics and from audiences. So this film definitely, I think, if it wasn't for the fact that they filmed all 3 movies at once, it probably would not get a third part. But since everything's already completed, then they're going to release the third no matter what, no matter how much money this film makes or doesn't make in the box office. So, yeah, definitely not a film that I would run out to the theaters to see. Streaming at best.
Okay, and so on to our second film, One Battle After Another. So this film is about a group of self-titled revolutionaries who are trying to disrupt the governmental and political systems. They're doing things like attacking detention centers and setting off explosives in unpopulated banks and other buildings. So the film advances 16 years to where we're seeing the life of one of the revolutionaries named Bob, who is trying to continue to stay off the grid and hide from the government, as many of the other revolutionary leaders had been captured. And he's also trying to raise his 16-year-old daughter. So the government eventually sends out one of their top colonels, who's known for his tactics, to round up the remaining members of the revolutionary group, and then eventually captures Bob's daughter. And so that's where we get involved into the whole storyline of Bob trying to rescue his daughter. There's other things that happen within that the film that are very interesting. So what did I think of One Battle After Another? I enjoyed watching it. I felt it was a little too long. With a runtime of 2 hours and 41 minutes, it definitely was a long movie, but it wasn't boring. There were some scenes I would have preferred to have been left out. There were some scenes I thought weren't necessary. But again, just my opinion. I think story-wise, it was well told. Acting-wise, I think they did a great job with the casting of this film. Leonardo DiCaprio does a great job, as well as all the other actors and actresses. Again, could have been a little shorter, but it didn't take anything away from the film. The movie definitely talks to a lot of the current issues in our country, and not to get too political, but it does talk about or hit on the deportation of aliens, the government treatment of people in general, the elite people in America that have these secret societies that are on their own agenda. And it also speaks to how people are disenfranchised by our current government and the political system and everything else. So it does touch on a lot of current issues and situations. At some points in the film, I felt a little upset based on my own, thoughts and feelings about certain things. So it definitely does strike a chord, and it struck one for me, definitely. So was it worth it? It was worth the watch, that's for sure. I would have liked it to have been a little shorter, but didn't take anything away from it. It was 2 hours and 41 minutes well spent. I would suggest seeing it on a big screen. It's just the way it was filmed, and a lot of the scenes are more impactful, I think, on the big screen. But if you only get to see it on streaming, I don't think it would take away too much from the actual film. I think you'd still enjoy it. So it's definitely worth the watch for me. it's probably a film that I could watch again, even though I know it's a little long in the tooth, but uh, it wasn't a boring film. It definitely was not. So I would definitely recommend One Battle After Another. All right, so there you have it. We've got one not worth the watch and one worth the watch. And so hopefully in the upcoming weeks, as more new films come out, we'll get more worth the watches than not. And don't forget, Halloween's coming up. So every day I will be posting one of my favorite horror films to check out during this Halloween month. It's kind of funny how Halloween went from a day to being a month, but I've always been a horror movie fan. So for me, that was one of my rituals. I would watch nothing but horror films the entire month. So I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you'll check out my Instagram page and my YouTube page, and maybe you'll see a film on there that you'll like to watch. And if you plan on watching The Strangers Chapter 2 or One Battle After Another, send me a comment. Let me know what you thought of it. I'd be interested to hear what you think as well. Well, thanks again, and I look forward to the next episode. So join me again next week. And until then, keep buying those movie tickets.